If women in their 40s marry 60-year-old men, will their lives be happy? Today, we are going to talk about a special topic: women in their 40s marry men in their 60s. Can they live happily after marriage? As we all know, in most people's minds, it is best to find a partner of similar age so that it seems easier to live together. If the age gap is too big, others will always look at you strangely, thinking that this is not very reliable. But there is no fixed standard for happiness, and everyone has different ideas. Some people think that if two people have the same values and understand each other, the marriage can last long, and this is happiness. Others think that material conditions and a rich life are happiness. So today, let's take a look at what this kind of marriage with a large age gap is like through the personal experiences of three ladies. Let's talk about Ms. Chen first. Ms. Chen is 52 years old this year. When she married her current husband, she was 43 years old, and her husband was 62 years old. Why did she choose a man so much older than herself? There's a story behind this. Miss Chen originally had a happy family, but when she was 42 years old, an accident ruthlessly took away her ex-husband's life, leaving her and two young children. As we all know, life in the countryside is difficult. Miss Chen relied on farming alone, and the meager income could not afford the children's tuition. Just when she was worried about her children's future, an enthusiastic sister from the same village introduced her to her current husband. This man is a retired cadre. His wife has passed away for many years. He lives alone and feels lonely. Moreover, he is full of curiosity about real life. When he met Ms. Chen, the two had a good chat. More importantly, after he learned about Ms. Chen's predicament, he was very sympathetic and was willing to lend a hand to help Ms. Chen sent her children to school. Miss Chen thought that this might be an opportunity to change the fate of her and her son, so after some consideration, she decided to marry this man who was much older than herself. At the beginning, the relationship between Ms. Chen and her husband was relatively flat. To put it bluntly, they just lived together for life. But as time went by, some of her husband's actions slowly moved Ms. Chen. The husband is well educated. He often patiently helps the children with their homework. When they encounter difficult problems, he always explains them patiently, just like treating his own children. Moreover, he has no airs of a city dweller and often takes the initiative to accompany Ms. Chen to do farm work. He also uses his knowledge to give Ms. Chen help improve the family's planting methods. Although the husband is over 60 years old, he is still strong and his mind is very flexible. Later, he proposed to build a greenhouse in his own field to grow wild vegetables. It turns out that his idea is very good. Every year, the family's income has increased a lot by selling wild vegetables. Ms. Chen feels that if she wants to live a good life with an older man, there are two key conditions for happiness. The first is that the economic conditions should not be too different, so that there will not be too many conflicts in life because of money. The second, and most important, is good character. If a person has bad character, he can't live a good life even if he has mountains of gold and silver. Now, the husband is over 70 years old, and his health is definitely not as good as before, and he has some minor problems from time to time. But Ms. Chen has no complaints. She takes care of her husband wholeheartedly because she knows that her husband is the great benefactor of their family. Without her husband's help, the children would never be able to successfully enter the university, and their family would not have such a stable and happy life now. Next, listen to Ms. Lu's story. Ms. Lu divorced her ex-husband when she was 39 years old. When she was 45 years old, she married her current husband, who was 60 years old at the time. Ms. Lu chose him not because of economic reasons, but because the two of them had a tacit understanding on work, particularly compatible spiritually. Ms. Lu's husband is a teacher who has been teaching for many years. He writes beautiful calligraphy and often publishes articles on the internet. He is a very talented person. Ms. Lu especially appreciates these advantages of her husband, and her husband also praises Ms. Lu's choice to open a beauty salon. The husband said, "Women love beauty. This is their nature. It is really amazing to be able to turn their hobbies into a career." When Ms. Lu decided to marry her husband, her family strongly opposed it. The family members thought that she should find someone of similar age so that life would be easier instead of finding an old man and worrying that Ms. You would have to take care of him all the time in the future, and life would be very hard. But Miss Liu didn't think so. She felt that it was a rare opportunity for a person to meet someone who truly understood her and was spiritually connected in her life. In her opinion, age was not a problem at all. Two people had the same values and could understand and support each other on a spiritual level. This was true happiness. Miss Liu and her husband have been married for 6 years, and their relationship has been very good in these 6 years. Her husband is particularly good at taking care of people and is very thoughtful. Lou encounters something unpleasant in life or business. Her husband can always notice it at the first time and then help her analyze the problem and find a way to solve it. Moreover, although her husband is old, he is not old-fashioned at all. He especially likes to learn new things and can always keep up with the trend of the times. Such a husband makes Ms. Lou love him more and more. Finally, let's listen to Ms. Song's experience. Miss Song's emotional journey can be said to be full of ups and downs. When she was 28 years old, she fell in love with a married man and later became pregnant and gave birth to a daughter. She was confused and became a mistress for 8 years. After waiting for the man to divorce his wife, Ms. Song was strongly opposed by the man's family and ultimately failed to get together with him. There was no way Ms. Song could only return to her parents' home with her child, which put a lot of pressure on her parents. But in order to support herself and her child, Ms. Song had to work hard. At the age of 42, Ms. Song met a 60-year-old wealthy client at work. The two of them got to know each other more and gradually became familiar with each other and developed a good impression of each other. The man's wife had passed away long ago. He was old and did not have much interest in those young and beautiful girls. Instead, he particularly appreciated the tenacity and independence of Ms. Song. After he knew Ms. Song's past experience, he not only did not discriminate against her, but was particularly sympathetic and admired Ms. Song's strength in raising a child alone. After the two were together, the man was very good to Ms. Song and the child, especially in terms of feelings. He was particularly dependent on Ms. Song. Moreover, he has no airs of a rich man. He usually cooks delicious meals for Ms. Song and her children. In order to support Ms. Song's career, he also took the initiative to invest in Ms. Song and encouraged her to boldly try new projects. He often said to Ms. Song, when you are young, you should accumulate more experience. If you encounter any problems in business, don't worry, I will always be by your side to support you. Now, Ms. Song and her husband live a happy life, and people around them are particularly envious of them. Ms. Song said that she believes in fate, and the painful experiences in the past have made her know how to cherish the hard-won happiness now. She feels that she married her current husband entirely because of fate, and it has nothing to do with age. From the experiences of these three women, we can see that there is really no fixed pattern for happiness. As Sam Mao said in Be Your Shower, age, economic conditions, nationality, and even knowledge are not the only criteria for finding a partner. Although these conditions are very important to many people, the most important thing is the character of the two people and the degree of spiritual compatibility. Women in their 40s have experienced the ups and downs of life. When choosing a partner, they will be more cautious and will choose someone who is truly suitable for them. Men in their 60s have also experienced the ups and downs of life. They know very well what kind of life they want. Since they have chosen a marriage with a large age gap, they will also support their wives in all aspects. Happiness can be expressed in many ways. For example, if you encounter difficulties in life, your partner can help you solve basic living needs and stop you from worrying about your livelihood. This is a kind of happiness. If the economic conditions are better, your partner can give you enough spiritual nourishment, make you feel warm and satisfied. This is also happiness. Everyone's choices and needs are different. The important thing is that we should cherish the happiness we have now and know how to be content. Happiness is a feeling in your heart, not what others say. As long as you feel happy and down to earth every day with your partner, you are happy. So, no matter what others think, the most important thing is to live comfortably in our own days. Friends, do you think this is the truth?